What is up, Fit Fam? It is Coach Rye from Team Flex here. We're going to be breaking down our wellness athletes from the Arnold, talking about these placings, talking about what judges are looking for, and mainly a lot talking about the controversy that has come up, okay? There's been a lot of talk and a lot of requests for me to get on here and break this down to you and talk to you about the winners. So if you're not familiar with exactly who, we got Cass here in first place. We got Angela over here in second. We got Rihanna here in third. Now, a lot of people thought that Angela really should have came in for the win, and she was, the obvious winner. Some people thought, even Rant should have placed above Angela, but a lot of people are not really loving the fact that Cass won this show regardless. So I kind of want to break down, what we're looking at, what's the difference, what could judges be thinking about, and, we're going to be using some different shots and things like that. I want to actually start with the videos though. So we're going to analyze the video, kind of just look at the video of each individual's posing routine, and then we'll get down to analysis of side-by-sides that I kind of had to create because there's not a lot of pictures out there of, any of these call-outs, okay? So make sure you subscribe to the channel, by the way, because this is going to be sick, and there's a lot of other great analysis and things like that we're going to be doing here that are going to help you learn out there. All right, so first things first, let me pull this up. We got Angela over here, okay? I want to talk about Angela and her posing routine. Now, this is something where, a lot of people, like I said, thought she should clearly won this competition here. And let's take a look at the posing, all right? These are coming from Gilco Productions, by the way. So right at the gate, when I'm looking at this is not the best her posing has been. It looks, we got the glute getting covered right here by her hand. That's not helpful. Her transitions look a little wonky. The hair's getting caught over here. Overall, just... And there's a lot of that movement going on, glute movement in that transition, very sloppy transition there. These transitions overall, this is not her best posing. So would not be surprised if that played a very big role in this. And we'll talk more about that when we get into the actual shots. But, her posing routine, again, and she's covering the glute here again. Look at that. I mean, that's going to take you down. That's going to score you differently for sure if you're doing that. So, I mean, it's these simple little things that can really transform a lot. Okay, now let's take a look where are we at here at Rant. This is our third place. And again, I'm using videos. I had to find a line, you guys. There's not a lot of stuff out there. The live stream stuff that's on YouTube and things like that, it's just terrible. So we're looking at different things. So here's Rihanna, right? And this is a video kind of edit of her. She's got good stuff going on here for her, but I think she pushed conditioning a little bit too far from the front. A little bit too hard in the abs here. A little bit maybe too full up top. Quads look good. Everything's looking good here. Overall, this is wellness look. This is, this top three is going to be points apart. You guys will talk about that too. I mean, it's hard for judges to really nail down. Okay, but this is why, she's kind of in this zone. That back pose is not looking prime. That back pose conditioning is not where it should be, per se, I would say. We'll see more when we get over to the individual shots, okay? And then let's look lastly over here at Cass, the winner, okay? She's the winner, and this is the kind of controversy everybody's been talking about. I've been getting messages constantly about this. I wasn't even talking about the Arnold really much because, it's been a few weeks since it, but I had to get in here and show you guys this because people just keep asking me. So there's our winner. We can see here some good things, a lot of good framework, a lot of good posing. Definitely, a little bit more square in the waist, which is what a lot of people were talking about. The waistline just didn't look right. She looks almost a little bit bloated here. Yeah, I see those things for sure, but I'm also seeing a lot of good things. A lot more of improvement to the glute, a lot of improvement to the quads, especially her quad sweep in this back pose. Like, that's dramatic improvements from Olympia. Same in the glutes. Posing very fluid. Posing looks very nice, very clean. It's not, looking at this, I would say there's not a lot of surprise to me how she edged out just a point, probably a couple points to be the actual champion here. So now it's easy to watch those and have all kinds of opinions. Let's dive down in the nitty gritty here. And again, these are screen grabs, you guys, coming from Gilco Production. I had to get these off the Instagram literally because the quality is so not good of the stuff that's out there for the Arnold that's on YouTube that's been recorded over and over. So we're just going to use these and kind of, this is the, the mock call out from each person's routine, if you will. All right, so let's start first off with Rant over here and how she could have, ended up in third. Again, I want to talk about the fact that she's pretty dang lean, you guys. Okay, we're seeing some six-pack action going on here. It's not not what judges want to see in this division. I'm getting a lot of rib view here. Not what judges want to see in here, right? I mean, we are getting a lot of good fullness to the glute and the quads and the hamstrings and all that. That's all great. That's what they want to see. But with this leanness, it's almost too much, okay? And in her conditioning, you'll see when we go to the back in a minute, it's not balanced. It's not totally even. And I think she is bringing a little bit too much fullness to the upper body here. Her biceps and triceps looking pretty freaking jacked up. You know, again, when we're talking about the top 3 at the Arnold or in any of these very, very competitive shows, we're talking about points that can separate it. So really good shape, really good, nice overall. You know, this is totally a wellness look. Maybe just a little too lean, a little bit too full up top. That's what I'd say. Now let's look at Angela, okay? Angela over here, again, she's covering the glute. You guys, this is a bad deal. You know, the posing could have literally just changed her into that first place slot based on everything I've seen. What we're talking about, if she had posed a little bit better, I would say, you know, it's points off from being in first. You know, she obviously has a nice taper. She has much more of a taper than, you know, Cass over here. She's got this tapered look going on, tight waist, all that. She actually did get it in these poses too, though. So that's interesting. We'll talk more about her in just a sec. What I also noticed blatantly out, in my opinion, is that she came in very full in the quads, okay? A lot of fullness, not a lot of any conditioning going on. I'm not really seeing any lines, you know, especially in the actual poses. Remember, these are like super high def, like we could see veins and stuff going on here. These shots are way more high def than, you know, the actual YouTube streams of the thing and everything like that. She's not maybe as conditioned lower body she should have been for that piece. You know, we got this nice oblique line. All this is good. The abs look great. The midsection looks great. A little bit jacked upper body, though. The shoulders are kind of really standing out to me in this pose. And I think that could have, you know, all right, maybe she looks a little bit too symmetrical in this. But I would say the kill shot in that front was probably covering the glute, because she did that in the actual call-outs too, which obviously I don't have for you guys here. All right, let's look over at cast down. So a little bit of a unique approach on the posing. It's kind of different, but it looks good. Looks good for her, because what it's doing is it sweeps her down. She's got fullness to the shoulder, but it's not looking over dominant. Like literally what she's doing in this pose, you guys, is she's leaning her upper body more so back and really projecting out her kind of quads here. So, you know, she's dropping back to get this look of the taper and everything else. Maybe she knew, you know, that waist wasn't coming in as narrow as some of the other competitors like Angela. And she kind of brought that through. Now, again, you know, we got a lot of muscle going on here, upper body, but it's not to the degree that it's overpowering to the lower body. Because lower body, we got a lot of fullness to the glute, and it's not hidden like Angela's glute, okay? We're seeing the whole thing. That's good. Fullness there, great. We're seeing a lot of development in the quads, huge sweep in the quads going on over here. And we're also getting some of those lines that I was talking about that we're not seeing over here on Angela. So that's another way, you know. And then we look over at Rihanna, and she had a lot of that too, but she's too lean in other areas, you know. So I mean, if she had a little bit more even conditioning, she could have honestly probably even edged out Angela in a lot of ways. You know, just a little bit too hard on her, a little bit too soft over here lower body on Angela, and the pose was off, okay? But what I'm seeing with this front pose on Cass is this is showing it. I'm getting, you know, this is less development upper body. I'm getting a taper, and I'm getting a lot more development lower body. That's wellness, ladies and gents. So this is how things can, when you start to dive and you start to look at analyze things, you know, okay, it becomes, yeah, well, it obviously looked different on the line, but when you actually break it down and what judges could be thinking, what they're looking at, and what they want the criteria to be, that's when we really start to see some differences, okay? All right, let's look at another shot here. Now, this is again, you know, same thing, combined all these kind of screen grabs of these athletes. Okay, here's where we get to see a lot of these same things take place. Let's just start with Rihanna, okay? So over here, I'm getting more of a rectangular look with her at the gate, okay? This signifies to me posing's a bit off here, but also, you know, this upper body development could be pushing too much. Again, I mean, her biceps and triceps look super jacked, super full. She's got pretty big, thick lat going on here, you know, and that all kind of affects that look. Now, this is, again, we're going to see she's pretty lean. She's got serratus going on over here, all right? I mean, that is so lean. So her conditioning was just off upper body wise compared to lower body. She came in too hard here, too strided here, abs showing here. This is too much conditioning. Honestly, I think that's what placed her in that spot. But lower body, again, looks great. She's got the fullness. She's got that upper glute they look for. We got good muscle going on. We got all of this here, but it's not in the same combination to the upper body. When we get to the back in a minute, you guys will see if you're hanging out. I know this video can go on. I could go on for like 3-4 hours about this, but I'll keep it sped up for you. We'll see when we get to the back. what really we're looking at, okay? So let's look at Angela. Now, Angela, again, this upper body's just screaming out to me. Right at the gate, I look at it, I'm like, okay, whoa. I mean, this taper looks nice. Everything's good here. Good at the waist, not too lean, not too striated. We got these soft lines judges want to see. But this upper body's just like, these shoulders are so developed. It's just almost evening out her physique too much to the point where it looks symmetrical to the lower body. Not what judges want to see. Remember, wellness is asymmetrical upper to lower, okay? So that's bad news. And then this glute, you guys, okay? We've talked about Angela's glute before. This, you know, she's doing stuff to this that is not particularly helping her, okay? So, you know, she's one of the competitors we've talked about could be doing, you know, some of those kind of injections and things like that. Like we talked about Sunny and Olympia and stuff like that. A lot of competitors use different types of enhancements to do stuff like that. It just makes her glute look unnatural if that's what she's doing. And I'm not saying she is for sure. In my opinion, this is definitely not 100%, you know, she built that, but it's definitely doesn't look symmetrical correct to me when I look at her lower body. Is she still a top 10 in competitor? Absolutely. But I'm telling you guys how, you know, okay, Cass came and edged this out and she won, she took it home. So, you know, we got the glute, it's all there, it's very full. You know, I'm not getting a lot of good lines here, not a lot of conditioning. Again, conditioning a little bit too soft down here in the lower body for Angela for sure. Muscle fullness all there, great. A little too soft, all right? So that's what I'd say there. And the pose is wrong because, you know, this shot, not as bad. Her arms moved away, but in the call-out, she was covering her glute again. And maybe that's part of it. Maybe it was intentionally she was trying to cover her glute to kind of mask, okay, some of this is maybe did a little bit of too much or something, okay? I'm not going to go too deep into all that again, but let's just keep moving forward here. So Cass, winning the class here, winning the Arnold for wellness. Very controversial. People are like, oh, no, Angela should have won. Okay, let's look. So here we go. Fullness to the shoulder. Judges like this. They want to see this. Okay, we got some upper body muscle. Yeah, pretty jacked. Not overdone in the lat. Like I said, you know, Rihanna might be a little bit here. You know, and the waist. Everybody's saying her waist was off, and it does look, you know, in some shots, transitions maybe, a little bit out, a little bit maybe more square. But the way she's nailing these poses, you're not looking, that's not what I'm seeing. That's not what you're seeing. You're seeing this tapered look. Like we're getting the full taper from the width of the shoulders, tapering down into the waist, like I always talk about. If you watch this channel, you know we talk about this 24/7. And then we got, boom, this dramatic base of the lower body. We got the asymmetry. Okay, so we're getting all of those markers. And again, not too striated, right? Not too lean. I'm not getting serratus over here like we are with Rihanna or anything like that. It's also, yeah, maybe she looks a little bit distended here, maybe a little bit too much water. Didn't hurt her though, because she still had the right look, she still had the right taper. And if it did hurt her, it didn't hurt her enough to topple her out of these areas, okay? So now we look at the glute. Glute's full, that's where it needs to be. Upper glute's good, we got good glute line here. We got more conditioning going on in the legs, lines, fullness, everything. Okay, she's got more even conditioning overall. And that's what judges want to see, you know. They don't want to see you be super lean up top and softer on the bottom, which is what we're getting out of these other two in some ways, okay? Right here, we're getting more of an even conditioning on Cass, and that's inevitably probably where, again, she scored down. Now, lastly, what we have to kind of talk about, too, is the calves in this shot. I don't talk about calves a lot in wellness because it's really not judged. You know, judges are not going to say they're placing people based on their calves in this division. But, okay, if we had to look just for a sec, just for an overall aesthetic, Rand's here, you know, she's got some calf development, all right, piece of cake, no big deal. We got Angela over here, which, again, with all the different actions going on with the muscles, how full everything is, she doesn't have a lot of calf muscle going on, and that's fine. You don't really need it, but it looks dramatically disproportionate when you actually look at it. Now, you can't unsee it. And if you can't unsee that now, make sure you subscribe to my damn channel, people. And then we look over here at Cass. She's got, you know, the calves, fullness, all this. This looks more symmetrical regardless, even if they're not directly scoring. Oh, is there a calf there? This just overall looks like a more complete physique, all right? So hopefully by now we're getting it. Now, the back is where I always say it if you watch my channel, the back is where bodybuilding is won from. Wellness is won from the back too, ladies and gents. So let's look one more time. A lot of the same things we're going to see here, okay? A lot of upper body development on Rand. You can see these triceps even popping out. That's a lot. That's a lot. What screams to me, though, really is, you know, that she just did not nail the conditioning lower body weight. So you can see she has good glute ham tie because she has so much muscle. It's just pushing in there. But this just looks disproportionate. And this could be a posing thing. This could be something else. It's just not showing the right shape. A lot of width, a lot of dimension here. You know, the quads and the glutes kind of Quads are almost overpowering those glutes in a lot of ways. Even the hamstring coming in here. You know, this muscle balance, it could be a muscle balance issue. I think she may need to, like, honestly reshape her lower body a little bit, and then also just bring in a little bit better condition to show some more of that separation. And that's interesting to say, right? Because these look pretty shredded up in the ham tie, and that's, I know what people are going to be commenting right now. But I'm telling you, overall, this is not as symmetrical, as shapely as it could be for a lower body perspective. Okay, and that's just going to place in a factor. Now for Angela, same kind of thing, upper body, you know, muscle still kind of overpowering there. Same as that. Remember, they don't want that symmetry in this division, you guys. They want you to be shapely, have all that. But, you know, you want the development to be in combination to the lower body, where the lower body looks much more dramatic. So that is what Angela has going on here, more for her than I would say Rihanna does, which is probably why Rihanna is landing in the 3rd spot versus the 2nd spot, okay? Top 2, it's making more sense now when we see Angela from the back. And again, this is where we get to see, though, those glutes. I mean, it just doesn't look 100%, you know, correct. It looks like things are a little bit off for how big the quads are, how big the sweep is, all that, all this. I mean, it doesn't, the conditioning is not really there. You're getting this ham tie, but it's not really the same. And overall, it's kind of just like, you know, this more bubble type effect versus, all right, here's some muscle. So that's there. And again, we talked about the calves a minute ago. These calves are, if that's even mildly being looked at, it's a killer for her, okay? So that's for sure. Now, Cass, the winner here, again, all the same things I've been talking about the whole video. We got the shape here. This looks good. You know, not overdone in the arms. That looks good. Now, glutes, they might be the least cut on stage, you might think, right? Like, oh, well, Rihanna has a much sharper ham tie, all this. Okay, yeah, that might look like that from this angle, but I'm telling you, this is a way more shapely glute overall development, okay? So she's got the tie going on, but you don't even need a super bunch of that. Like, they don't want you to be too cut, too striated at all. And maybe that's why Rihanna is showing the most of it, because she was pushing that leanness factor. But, you know, what they want to see is the shape. They want a lot of that upper glute, which we're getting here. A lot of the shape of the glute overall. Slight separation between the glute and ham tie. And okay, we're getting that. And then what we get to is this quad effect. So a lot of improvement in the quad. But it looks good. It looks shapely and symmetrical. It looks like where it should be in combination to the rest of the stage here. So I would say, you know, when I look at this overall, even though everybody said it was pretty controversial, you know, Angela should have won, maybe even Rihanna should have won, Rihanna should have placed above Angela, Cass shouldn't have been there at all. Well, when we look at how complete overall of a physique it is in every shot, that's how points happen, ladies and gentlemen. You might get beaten in some shots, you might look better in some versus others, but what happens is it's the collective score overall, and these little things make a huge, huge difference. Like when we're talking about pros like this, top level, you know, top of division pros, it is down to the smallest of things to get there. And I just want to show you the scorecard to really tell you, okay? So we got Cass here, and that's not a placing, it's just competitor number. Cass placed number 1, okay? She got a total of 6. So that means that's the you know, the least amount of things. Basically, the smaller your number is there, the higher you placed, okay? So just keep that in mind as we look. So we're there, you know, she got 6 points marked down for her basically. Then we can look over at Angela, okay? Angela here, her competitive numbers are actually 2 anyway, so it works out nicely. She got 2nd place, 9 points. That's just literally the smallest of things, you guys, to make a difference. She could have been in that 1st place by like literally it could have just been the posing. Could have just been the posing edged her out of that 1st place slot. So realistically, I mean, we're neck and neck here for those two for sure. That's crazy. You know, Rihanna, she moved up. She's down here. There she is. She's in 3rd. She's at 15. So considerably, you know, even a little bit more down the chain than Angela is. Okay, so 15, 9, all that down to 6. I mean, again, our top 3 is pretty close no matter what. That's what we're looking at. But you can really see how, you know, placings keep going. Like Sunny Andrews right here. She got 8th place out of 8. And she has 38 points on that, you know. So keep in mind that we're talking about like apples to apples here for who could have won this. Very exciting, honestly, in a lot of ways. I know a lot of people are kind of mad about it, wondering what the judges are thinking, you know, all this kind of stuff. But remember, bodybuilding is a sport where it's always changing, it's always developing. Things are gonna, shift. And just because your favorite competitor didn't win that day doesn't mean that they're not a great competitor, or the show wasn't right, or the judges didn't do right, or whatever. We also have to factor in, ladies and gentlemen, when you're sitting here looking at these shots, you're looking at videos online, you're looking at everything else, that is not how it looks on stage to the judges. Like, if you've ever wanted to see, I challenge all you that are so concerned about the placings and wondering if it's this or that, why did it happen? It's not right. They didn't do it. Go sit front row at the Arnold, then pay for the tickets. Go sit right behind the judges table and watch the damn show. You will see things that you don't see online, because competitors always look bigger and leaner and all sorts of other things in the actual shows versus online. So keep that in mind. Regardless, I want to know who you think should have won, ladies and gentlemen. If you're still watching right now, and I hope you are, thanks for being here. Comment down below who you think should have won. Was it fair? Was it correct? Who was your favorite athlete? Do you agree with what I think? And yeah, I appreciate you all being here. Let me know what other videos you want me to do too, regarding whatever, because we're going to keep pumping them on this channel. Thank you for watching. Coach Rye is out.